There are mindsets and belief patterns that you can apply that will help you get more of what you want. Have you ever noticed small behaviors that seem to make a much bigger impact than you would expect? I love the book, The Power of Habit. Some behaviors can make a much bigger impact in your life than others. And one example that he shares is exercise. People who exercise regularly tend to consume less alcohol, smoke less, sleep better, and be more productive at work. I would also propose that there are mindsets that you can employ that will make a much bigger impact in your life just by adopting these beliefs. Hello, Dale Majors here, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to share 5 mindsets that you can apply immediately that will help you get more of what you want. At the end of the video, I'm going to share a tool that you can use to apply all of this content that I'm sharing with you. And I will also share a bonus attribute from my favorite fictional character, Rocky Balboa. Mindset 1, motivation is a choice. And we all have the potential of being amazing, energized, awesome, motivated, or lousy, unmotivated, not all that jazzed about life. And the difference between feeling either of those emotions is the conditions that we create in our lives. I'm going to share with you a motivation formula that you can use to energize yourself in different roles in your life. And once you understand this, it'll help you be much more understanding of people when they're not all that motivated. It'll also help you be more understanding of yourself for when you find yourself unmotivated, and you'll just know that you need to apply this formula to motivate yourself again. So let me show you on the board. The motivation formula is simple. You have 3 elements. The first element is a dream gap, I call it. So it's the difference between where you are and where you want to be. In this case, he's on the wrong side of a canyon from his house. The second element you need is you need emotion. You have to care about closing that gap. So in this guy's case, he doesn't want to be stuck here forever. If he falls into the gap, he falls into this pile of whatever, and he's just not happy. So if you only have these 2 elements, you have a gap and you have emotion, with no action plan, it's going to be depressing. So that's the third element, is an action plan you believe in. So this guy, he sees an axe back here, it's amazing, and he's going to cut down this tree, and it's going to tip over, and he's going to cross the tree to his house. He'll close the gap. So the minute he looks over and he sees the axe, and in his mind he figures out that plan, that's where he gets motivated. So if you're not motivated in a certain role in life, you can use the motivation formula to become more motivated. Learning to motivate yourself can be a huge differentiator in how much success you achieve. Choose a role in your life and apply the motivation formula to see if you can come out more motivated. And in tip 5, I'm going to share a framework that you can use to create the action plan. Mindset number 2 is to expect and look for wisdom in everyone you meet. One of my favorite quotes is by Ralph Waldo Emerson: "Every man I meet is in some way my superior." Take Steve Jobs, for example. That guy was kinda crazy. Apple's marketing campaign even talked about the crazy ones, the rebels. We're the dreamers, the makers, right? The creators. Steve didn't even wear shoes most of the time. His hygiene wasn't that great. It would be very easy to look at Steve Jobs and pick him apart and find things that we don't like. But that's not how we achieve greatness in the world. We achieve greatness and we become successful by looking for and finding the wisdom in everyone around us. There's a strategy framework that I want to share for product development. When people are developing products, let's take a mousetrap. The strategy framework, for example, is space, sky, earth. And a space idea is something that we can't really figure out how to do just yet, where an earth idea is something that we have right now. So for example, for a mousetrap, we know what a mousetrap looks like. A mouse wanders up and it gets caught with the spring. A space idea, if we were brainstorming, could be something like, hey, maybe there could be some kind of like sonar or way to capture or trap the mouse where we won't kill it. And then we think, well, sonar, whatever else, we don't even know how mice do this, whatever. We could find a lot of ways to criticize that, but we're not looking for that. We're saying, okay, great, a way to not kill it. And then we work together to brainstorm a solution that can take some of the wisdom from that space idea and bring it down towards the Earth into the sky. So Earth people come up to the sky, space people come down. We actually found a great solution for this mousetrap on YouTube of the cannon. We actually found a great idea that could be considered a space idea for the mousetrap. The mouse wanders in and falls into a cannon, gets shot into a bucket, and it's saved. It's amazing. When you meet space people with crazy ideas, don't focus your energy on what you don't like, on what doesn't work, but put your energy towards learning what makes these people great and trying to make their ideas work. Look for genius in everyone you meet. So mindset 2, there's value in everyone around you, and it's up to you, it's up to us to find it. Mindset 3 is that seemingly safe distractions seek our demise. There are certain things that we participate in life, social media for example, or our phone notifications, that don't want us to be successful, that are distracting us from our cause. One of my favorite examples of this is in the movie Percy Jackson. So Percy Jackson and his heroes, they are on a mission, time sensitive, they have a few days to do this thing. They wander into a casino and they're approached with people with trays of lotus flowers. They taste them, they're amazing, and they go on to have an amazing time in this casino. They don't want to leave. Eventually, Percy hears a voice. Percy, you're not supposed to eat the lotus flowers. And he thinks, wait, hold on a second, maybe I'm being tricked or distracted. And he looks to the guy next to him who's dressed like a hippie and he says, what year is it? And he's like, 1977. He's like, oh man, there's something wrong with this. Okay, so he finds his friends and they leave the casino. What seemed like a couple hours to them turned out to be days, and they were distracted. How often are we distracted by our lotus flowers, social media, distraction, the stock market, whatever it is, the news? How often are we distracted from our mission by seemingly good things that aren't helping us accomplish our goals? So mindset 3 is to believe that those things are bad news and need to be handled with care, to not take them casually. So don't treat social media casually, and whatever other lotus flowers you have in your life, take them seriously because they can very much distract you from your goals. Mindset 4, it's okay to go slow. You don't always have to be on. One of my favorite quotes from Abraham Lincoln: if I had 6 hours to cut down a tree, I would spend the first 4 sharpening my axe. Martin Luther said, on a really busy day, I need to spend much more time in fasting and prayer because I have so much going on. Albert Einstein said, if I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes. Try this weekend to take an hour and just plan everything that you have to do for the next week. Think about when you're gonna exercise, when you're gonna meet with friends, and any other role that you want to take care of, and see how much more effective your week is. Mindset 4 is go slow to go fast. Mindset number 5, and this is also gonna help you with the motivation formula to give you the action plan, is the world is your oyster. And to make goals and to dream big for yourself, I wanna share with you a formula that you can use to put your goals into a framework to make them more real. I'll show you on the whiteboard. I wanna share how I applied the HATS model to my personal fitness. H stands for hope. It's the aspiration. It's what you really want. It doesn't have to be defined, and it should be big and dreamy and awesome. For me, I wanted to be like Hugh Jackman in Wolverine. Not like super ripped, but very fit. That's the hope. The A stands for achievable outcomes. And that's more like a SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time-bound. In this case, I figured Hugh would definitely be able to do a backflip and that he would be able to run a really fast mile. So those are a few of the goals that I made. T stands for tactics. What are the tactics that you're going to employ to reach those achievable outcomes? In my case, I started going to the gym to learn from the gymnastics people how to do a backflip. I started doing more exercising on the rowing machine. I started doing more running. Those are the tactics I employed. S stands for specifics. What are the specific measurables that you're going to track to get there? How often are you going to go to the gym? How often are you going to run? How far are you going to run? How much time will you spend on the rower? Those are the specifics that you'll track. If you're not engaged in a certain role in life, consider running through the HATS model. And by setting good, clear goals, that can increase your engagement. I'm glad that I could share with you the HATS model. Don't worry too much about taking notes. At the end of the video, I'm gonna share with you a process that you can go through to apply everything we've talked about. And now for the bonus. One of my favorite people, Rocky Balboa, fought Apollo Creed. And man, that guy, the fight was intense. Rocky still lost, but I really loved this interaction and what we learned from it with Apollo Creed and one of his advisors.
He's all wrong for us, baby. I saw you beat that man like I never saw no man get beat before, and the man kept coming after you. And we don't need that kind of man in our life.
You can have all the goals and all the healthy mindsets in the world, but if you're not persistent, and if you don't keep coming back and trying, then it's a lot less likely that you'll be successful. So let's learn from Rocky and keep coming at him. In order to make sure that we're successful with these mindsets, with our new goals, we need to be persistent. Thanks for watching the video, and as promised, check out this video. This is day 1 of a 17-day masterclass, and this will help ensure that you apply these mindsets and other success habits over the next while. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.